Hey there, I'm an actual historian, and I'm also a huge fan of internet historian. So I wanted to react to his latest video, Evergiven, Ever Taken Away. So I know a bit. I assume what I assume. It's about the Evergiven, which was a ship that blocked the Suez Canal, if I remember right, two times, and every single time it blocked it, it rerouted the all the world's trade routes that we use today. That's an incident that I think happened in 2023, I think, or in the middle of the pandemic. It happened, if I recall correctly. So that's about it. I don't know anything else about the incident. And without further ado, we'll start the reaction. Here we go.
This video was made possible by Saley and some very patient people over at Patreon. Okay, music fades in.
Ooh,
My
starting
friend,
theatrical.
let me weave you a tale of a windswept night beyond the old Egyptian sands, where the water plays coy with the shore, and the coy are sure to play in the water.
Yeah, there's no coin in the
Where
Suez
the
Canal.
desert wolves make love to the moon.
Sorry about that. No koi in the Suez
Scary
Canal.
Day. This is the Suez Canal. Undeniably, Egypt's most famous body of water. Nothing bad
Yeah.
ever happens
Like
here.
he said, under Nile. Under the Nile, which
Except for that one
is
time.
way famous in the Suez Canal.
Oh.
But no wars were fought
Okay,
over
so
the river.
there's a ship, and it's called the Evergiven. And it's going up the Suez Canal really, really fast, probably. And you think that, well, the Port Authority would call up, and they'd be like,
Captain, you are going way too fast.
but the captain, he's wicked sick cool. So he's like,
Sorry about
They're
that.
just jealous of my passion for going fast through critical trade infrastructure. Increase speed.
I was trying to
If you will
see.
not slow
So that's a character from. I don't recognize it. Sorry.
down, prepare to meet the full might of the
Tell me the reference in the comments below.
military.
two of Egypt's fastest fighter jets scramble on the runway. But the captain kept
Nah, they use pretty modern weaponry. Supplied by the United States, might I add.
adding power.
Faster! The people of Europe need these Chinese knockoffs of European goods.
And they got all sorts of technology to go like top speed.
Don't go faster, I beseech you.
But everyone on the crew was loving it. Yeah, go faster. But then,
Look out! Someone left a ramp in the middle of the canal.
I ain't afraid of nothing.
So I don't think it was a ram. I think it was just a body of sand in the canal.
it was at this point that the captain chose to do a wicked sick jump. Lens
Yeah.
flare.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But they overshot it. They were gonna collide with a gently sloping sandy bank. They threw on the handbrake,
Drop anchor! Brace for impact!
but it was too late.
Don't forget, you drift with the front. You drift with the front, not the back. Remember that.
Literally everybody died.
No one died. Sorry to tell you that.
Ever given, ever taken away.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah, that'll do. All right, see you in a year. What do you mean it's not long enough? Wikipedia, ChatGPT. Add the music. They love that.
So, when I was doing my bachelor, well, during all academic, they keep hitting you over the head about we don't use Wikipedia, don't use Wikipedia. But I actually think just if you just want to have a just a quick glance into a subject, Wikipedia is all right, but it's not the end all and be all. So like use it to give yourself an idea of a subject, and if the subject interests you, read further than Wikipedia. Don't just stop at Wikipedia. It's a good starting point, but that's all it is. And ChatGPT, well, you're probably hammered a lot, but I'll hammer a lot also. ChatGPT doesn't actually know what it says. It's just an algorithm that calculates if the sentence makes sense grammatically, not if there's actually sense behind the information. So yeah.
A reaction give? That's a good one. No, this video's too good. Dial it back a little. Okay, let me start again. I'll do the phony voice too. Better. Okay, so here's what really happened.
Yeah, let's go into what really happened.
This story begins in Malaysia. Of course, you already know, but that's this one over here. And at a port named Tanjung.
So, just a quick fact. Did you know that actually, just after the decolonization in Indochina, there were two countries that were going for the name of Malaysia, and there was a race to it. One of them was the actual country of Malaysia we have today, and the other one is the Philippines. So perhaps in another reality, the Philippines might have been called Malaysia, but Malaysia wouldn't have been called the Philippines because the Philippines trace back their name from a Spanish king and not the actual. And Malaysia wasn't under the control of the Spanish, but the Dutch, if I remember correctly.
Palepus is the container ship known as the Evergiven. The last of the cargo is loaded onto the ship, and the captain of the ship, Krishnan Kanthaval, is there with his crew of 20.
Hi there.
Hello.
Kanthaval.
At this point,
Sorry
Kanthaval
about
probably
that.
said something like, "All right, the boat's tummy is all full of cargo. We're almost ready to get going."
Yeah, he
So
surely
Evergreen,
said that.
The operating company of the ship would have called ahead and booked passage for the ship. Yes, one adult ship ticket, please. Large. How many containers? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, this guy at the operating company is on the line to the Suez Canal Authority, and they are in charge of all of the operations of the Suez Canal. All right, thank you for choosing Suez Waterways. You are scheduled for March 23rd. You are 922nd in queue. All right, we've got a Supermax container coming through on March 23rd. Pulling up the stats now. The Evergiven, one of the largest container ships in the world. Over 400 meters long, 60 meters wide. Only 10% smaller than the world's largest aircraft carrier.
So
Able to
that's half
carry
a
over
kilometer.
20,000 of these shipping containers. Here's a guy and a sandwich for scale. All right, navigator, helmsman, Gene. Let's get going. We wouldn't want to hold up the other ships. With a teary goodbye, the Evergiven sets sail.
That's
from
exactly what's
Malaysia
gonna happen.
and makes course for the Netherlands. Let's go to the map. Malaysia, and you already know, but
Missing a bit of a bit of a landmass over here. And I just realized it's 2021. I didn't saw the dates beforehand, but I said that it was 2023 that it happened. I guess I was wrong. It happened a bit earlier, but still in the middle of the pandemic, so I was all right on that.
the Netherlands is over here. The route's so simple. You just go from here over to... Oh. We're blocked by Africa, sir.
Yeah.
Should we just head back? Don't worry. I know a shortcut. Head into that inlet. It's called the Red Sea. Captain, it's blue. I know. In a bit over a week, the Evergiven cruises all the way to the Red Sea. And on the way, someone on the crew points...
So, you often hear on the news about Somali pirates, which Somalia over here, and Yemeni pirates over here, where they're so not dangerous, but such a nuisance for the United States and for the Occidental world. Well, that's because the good chunk of the cargo of the trade routes we have today pass through the Red Sea into the Mediterranean, into the Red Sea, into the Suez Canal and the Mediterranean Sea.
Out Djibouti and says it aloud. Djibouti.
So I don't know a lot about Djibouti. I just know that it was a French colony at one point.
Because it's fun to say. It's a great time to be a cargo ship captain, I can tell you that much. Captain, we've got another problem on the...
And that it was part of the Ethiopian Empire at some point, but that's it. Not really my area of expertise.
A sat-nav. There's more land in the way. How are we supposed to get through an obstacle like this? Should I just head back? Now, if this was 1868, Canterville would be in big trouble. But luckily, in 1869, someone happened to dig a big channel. Right
the
from
British.
one side of this isthmus to the other. And filled it with water, they did. Which meant that ships no longer needed to circumnavigate Africa.
And if you know a bit about geography, you know that there's a town here called the Cape Town. Well, that used to be the place where almost every ship would stop on their way from Asia to Europe.
It's nothing personal. It's a geographic thing. Late that evening, the Evergiven arrives at the Gulf of Suez, here on the map. It's a big open area for ships to park. And there are ships everywhere, sitting idle, waiting for their turn to pass through the canal. Now the helmsman is kind of driving around the area, looking for a place to park and drop anchor. But then, something captures his attention. Hey, what's that mysterious-looking ship over there? It looks abandoned. M.V. Ahmad. Do not speak its name, helmsman. Why not? Look, there's a spot. That's a handicap. They park the ship, drop anchor, and radio in to the Suez Canal Authority. Thank you for joining the queue. Typical wait time is a few hours, up to 1 business day. Why do we have to wait? Why can't we just go straight through? Because we've got rules here at the canal. A big book of them. No running, no...
And probably because the ships are too large for the actual canal. So they can... I'm just speculating here, but I assume they're too large, so just perhaps one or two at a time in one direction and in the other. Can't have everyone rush at the same time. That's going to create a traffic jam, which is almost what happens here.
Dive bombing and blah blah blah. Somewhere way down the back of the manual it says, all vessels entering or leaving the canal must have a pilot. And in fact, a ship as large as yours needs 2. These pilots are employees of the Canal Authority who understand the perils of the route. Kind of like a consultant to the captain. And they stand around going, yes, yes, go here, turn coming up here, watch out for the geese. So just stand by for a while, yep? Alright, nothing to do till this pilot arrives. Guess I'll take a little bit of me time. I'm off to my cabin, fellas. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And so just after midnight, Canterville heads back to his quarters to take a nap. quite a cozy scene, wouldn't you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
But all is not well on the Evergiven tonight. There seems to be some trouble
Uh-oh.
with the weather. 2:30 a.m. Canterville wakes up. Outside is the loud rattle of shipping containers sparring with the wind. Loud enough to capture Canterville's attention. Raro. He dashes up to the bridge. All right, what's the status on it being really, really windy outside? The wind is up to 35 knots, but the Evergiven is fine and the anchor is keeping us held. All right, it sounds like I can head back to my quarters then. Wait, Captain. I think we need to move the ship. Yeah, those guys are getting closer and closer to us. We're surrounded by ships like the Al Nasriyah. Their anchors can't withstand the wind and they are being dragged about. We need more buffer or there's risk of a collision. Good thinking. All right, duty engineer, prep the engines. Aye. The ship kicks to life. The helmsman steers the Evergiven to get further away from the other ships. This whole thing might be cancelled. Port control. Although this waiting area is delightful, the weather outside is very frightful. Is passage through the canal still happening? Not cancelled. Hold.
So what do we have here? Do it for her. Ah, that's Cleopatra. So that's probably just propaganda that she used to be beautiful, because if you think about it, she was a product of generations of brother-sister incest. So she was probably pretty messed up. What else do we have? Okay.
Position.
What did we say? Be both safe, just sink.
Your pilot is wrapping up and will be on his way to your vessel soon. They're making us wait. Captain, if we're struggling not to hit ships in this big open area, it's going to get pretty dicey when we have to navigate through a narrow channel like the Suez. Yes. Although you should have said, spoiler warning.
Coming up next on Channel Ad Time.
Welcome back to Raising Sail.
So I would usually skip the ads, but now I know Internet Historian does really creatives and really funny ads, so I let them play.
I'm Saily Man, professional traveler and eSIM user. Finding tourists to get them huge savings on an eSIM plan. It ain't for the faint of heart. But if there's one thing
there's
I've
Sentinel
learned in all my
Island over there.
years, when they're traveling, they need data.
I can't get an Uber. I didn't sort out my data before I left.
Got another one? Try this. First, we download the Saily app on your phone. Then we choose how much data we want and where. Then we add the code Internet Historian for 15% off. And don't forget the most important part. Mwah. I just gave your phone international data using the Saily app.
Thank you, Saily Man.
Cool. So download the Saily app or scan the QR code on the screen now and use the code Internet Historian to get 15% off at checkout.
It's so beautiful here in the hills of Switzerland. If only I could listen to podcast in the background.
Here comes Saily Man. Over 200 destinations, 24/7 live chat support, and no physical SIM or roaming fees, because it's just an app.
Could I have my phone back, please?
At Saily, family comes first, and data comes second. Data comes first. They're both tied for first.
Tonight on Raising Saily.
Anyone can get Saily. Dead ones. Sorry, I have a boyfriend ones. All regular.
I have a presentation in 15 minutes at the UN Security Council, and I didn't download the slides. Without this presentation, I'm worried they're going to nuke North Sentinel Island again.
15 minutes to go when he hasn't got the slides.
Don't worry, there wouldn't be a lot of casualties.
10 minutes to go.
Just an entire culture, though.
History will not look kindly on me without those slides.
Here comes Saily. Now you have 10 gigabytes of data on your phone. Cheaper than most phone providers.
I love you, Saily Man.
Hush, little one. I saved it.
The Saily app really saved me.
This truly was
And save the Sentinel Island, apparently.
our darkest hour. But we prevailed. It's not an easy job, but Saily gets me through. So download the Saily app or scan the QR code on screen and use Internet Historian as the code to get 15% off at checkout. Get some damn data on your phone, why not? Ad over. Some time has passed. We're back on the bridge. There's the helmsman. Captain's gone back to his quarters. Pilots won't be here for hours. Then suddenly, an idea. The helmsman takes it upon himself to navigate a little bit of art.
No, no, that can't be. No, for real. Why? Oh my god, what the fuck would you do that? Like, I know nobody thinks that anything's gonna happen, but only on the fucking 1% chance that something happens, that's a sure way to fucking lose your job. What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? That's a clear firing right there.
The helmsman. As long as no one checks the nav data, this won't come back to bite me at all. A couple of hours pass. The wind dies down just a little. No ships crashed into the Evergiven, but a small one did pull up beside it. Captain, pilots are here.
Is that the Coast Guard? Oh no, it's the IR. Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
It's the two pilots.
Yes, we're
to
running
navigate
the
Suez
We
Canal.
don't know what the pilots' names are, so we're just going to go with blue and red. Okay, I think we should move ahead at about 14 kilometers. That's right, ahead, 14 kilometers per hour.
Nice Pokemon reference, by the way.
The Evergiven joins a convoy of ships taking position at the entrance to the canal. Convoy, checking in. Ready. All right, everybody, we want to be alert, stay focused. Yeah, Captain. I'll follow the other ships. I'll try not to get lost. Hold on, helmsman, and the audience. This is a much more perilous journey than you might know. What, a big straight line? It is 193 kilometers of narrow waterway. And I hope you've got some stamina, because it takes 12 hours to traverse. It's a full-day trip. Some parts are only 24 meters deep.
I didn't know it took so long to cross it. My god. 12 hour and only for 200 kilometers. Yeah. My god.
Oh, that's very shallow. Yes, and only 200 meters wide in some parts. That's very narrow. I've seen McDonald's drive-thrus with more clearance. And you certainly wouldn't want to have an accident, would you? Because 12% of the entire world's sea freight passes through here. If you blocked it...
Only 12%? I thought it was higher because Europe is a big buyer. Oh, but I don't know. I'm surprised still by the figure, only to 12%. I thought it would be higher because Europe has a higher capital, so it can buy and ship more than other places in the world.
Consequences would be humongous. No pressure, though. Oh, I see. Don't mind him. He gives that speech to everybody. Ahead, 14 kilometers per hour. Yes, pilot. 14 kilometers. Steady on. So into the canal the Evergiven went. As they cruise, the winds swirl back onto the sea. No longer buffered by miles of open water, the sand and dust can blow about with abandon. Low visibility. Strong winds jostle the ship. Grit pelts the bow. The Evergiven steams ahead at about the pace of a fast jog. And there's no real build-up here, to be honest. Things go awry almost immediately. How are you coping with the wind? It's manageable. All right, well, the wind is definitely pushing us to the left-hand side. Yes, just try to keep it as centered
they're
as you can.
Gonna overcorrect
Adjusting.
or something.
These winds are quite something. Do you think we should have insisted they postpone?
The pilots don't seem worried, and they know this water better than anyone. The angle of the wind is particularly nasty, catching the enormous surface area of the ship and constantly nudging it off course.
Yeah, I imagine.
Helmsman, you're still too far to the left. You got to
It's
get
what,
back
400
to the center.
meters?
Yeah, I'm trying. Adjusting. The helmsman keeps changing the trajectory of the ship.
A wall
He
of 400
cannot seem to
meters
stay in
would
the center.
fill the wind.
Come on, helmsman.
quite,
We're still not centered.
strongly.
I know, it's the wind. No matter what they do, they can't seem to get away from the left bank. The wind foils their every countermaneuver. This is not as manageable as I thought it would be. Is it going to be like this the whole way? Don't worry, this is really common. It won't be the whole trip. No. The problem is we're going too slow. Red Pilot takes the initiative. If we speed up, we can push through the wind. Accelerate to 22 kilometers an hour. Somewhat reluctant.
So what he's saying, I think, actually does make sense, because if you're faster than because of its mass, because of its height, the ship feels the wind much strongly than, and if it were to be moving, it would cut back on some of the wind. Well, they get one out of the windy portion faster, and two, I think the how do you say it? They'd run. They have the inertia to keep moving forward, even with the wind blowing them, of course.
The helmsman obliges. 22 kilometers.
I mean, inertia to move forward with the wind blowing them, of course. I mean, the inertia to move through the wind without being blown, of course.
Kilometers per hour.
Engines engage and the ship speeds up. Captain, going this fast in heavy winds is needlessly reckless. There are protocols for this sort of thing.
All right, Gene, it's a bit windy. Relax. This must happen all the time.
So I'm a historian, I'm not actually a navigator, so I can be completely off my rocker here.
The Red Pilot was right. The increased speed helps them to fight through the wind and get away from the left-hand bank. However, they can't seem to keep the ship in the very center. Helmsman, you're aimed too severely to the right-hand bank now. We need a bit of leadership here. Don't worry, I know what to do. Turn left. Adjusting. The pilot's giving steering instructions now. Captain, is he supposed to do that? Captain, the pilot is not here to give steering orders. You should say something.
Uh-oh. Not doing his job.
The ship is now consistently snaking left and right and left and right. Turn to the right. So they turn to the right.
But then they end up too far to the right.
You're too close to the right bank now. Turn to the left. Yes, I agree. Turn to the left. Look, this is all a bit tense, and we both know where this is going. It's gonna crash. Let's just enjoy it. Oh, wow. There it is. A gently sloping sandy bank. Red Pilot, we're just consultants. This isn't our job to steer the ship. You're micromanaging. We should only be giving general navigation advice. We're getting too close to the left bank. I can't keep it centered. We have to slow this ship down. If we slow down, the wind will push us into the bank.
What do I do? Reduce
Go
the speed.
faster. The two pilots begin bickering. And not just bickering normally.
Uh-oh.
They're bickering in Arabic.
Oh, no, that's not a good sound. When the people you're supposed to trust in start arguing.
No, neither do I. Does anyone here speak Arabic? The Evergiven has reached its target speed of 22 kilometers an hour.
I thought he was gonna say. I thought he was gonna say it reached its target, the shore bank.
Wider turns and can't seem to get anywhere near the center of the lane. And the two pilots, they're still fighting. Captain? Captain! Pilots! Captain! The Evergiven then reaches an extreme, unrecoverable angle, pointing acutely to the right, straight for the bank.
Uh-oh. At least it's a nice bank. Can probably lay out some
we need to turn left.
parasols.
Now, hard left.
Huh?
Hard to the left.
They
Hard to the left.
stand a bit.
The rudder turns. But the ship doesn't
Enjoy the sun.
Instead,
with a nice beer.
Didn't I tell you to turn left? Why aren't we turning? I am turning to the left, Captain. The ship's not responding.
I knew this would happen. It's your fault. The helmsman loses his ability to steer. The ship has gone out of control.
Is that, what's her name?
Captain.
From Fire Emblem?
Canterville finally steps forward. Enough! Helmsman,
Camilla, I think.
center the rudder. Reduce speed. Rudder center. Reduce... But it's too late. Canterville did not intervene in time. Shit.
According to a person familiar with the VDR audio, Captain Canterville reacted as anyone might in the same situation. Shit! He screamed. Yeah. I imagine. Shit's the good word for that. He even has eyes.
The vibration through the floor as the bow meets the bank.
Uh-oh.
That bow, raised 6 meters, slides into the bank with ease, like a hot pencil through pudding.
Yeah, with its
Meanwhile,
fucking mass.
the rear of the ship is pulled into the opposite bank. The bridge shakes and the crew lurches forward as 300,000 tons of momentum is reduced to 0 in the span of a couple of seconds. We've run aground! We've run aground! Cut your engines! Canterville yells out on the radio, because don't forget, these ships are running as a convoy, which means that the ships behind them have just seen what's happened, and they all have to slam on the brakes. A couple of ships back, the Asia Ruby 3 suffers an engine malfunction, and it cannot stop as quickly as it intends to, and nearly plows into the back of the Maersk Denver. They manage to stop themselves just in time and prevent running aground as well.
Oh my god. Give a medal to to the captain of that ship. He's the true MVP of that situation.
Pan back to the Evergiven. Let us look at it from above. It is diagonally wedged across the entire canal. An unplanned bridge connecting 2 continents. A ship collision of such magnitude, there's almost nothing to compare it to. Maybe Hindenburg? 9/11? I'll keep Googling. No, hold off on the dramatic sound effects. There's no need to panic just yet. It's like a car tire stuck in the mud. We simply reverse. Full astern. Well, that means full backwards. Propellers at the back of the ship whiz to little effect. Locked in place by the sand. We didn't move. Merely a run-up. Crash astern. That's the most dramatic version of full astern, ramping up to full thrust as quickly as possible.
Oof. Sorry, dude. You're gonna...
No, stop it. No sound effect just yet. We still have one more option. Start up the bow thrusters.
Look at his face. You know he was shitting bricks. Because he knew they were gonna look at the logs.
They're the jets at the front of the ship that give a little bit of extra oomph. Crash astern, full thrusters. No effect, sir. Now, we don't have the transcript from here, so we'll just presume that at the time, Canterville said something very quirky and millennial, like, so that just happened. But what we do know
he definitely said that.
Then jumped on the radio and got in contact
sure.
with the Port Authority. We've got something to tell you, and you gotta promise not to get mad. Shut up. Listen, we're gonna need a tugboat. We are run aground. The helmsman takes a turn at being millennial. There are other ships right behind me, aren't there? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And there were, as the queue of container ships piling up behind them got longer and longer. Make that 2 tugboats. So what happened here exactly? And who is in big, big trouble? Explainer time! There are 3 main causes to why the ship crashed. Let's start with the wind. The
So
captain
good,
could have
then.
very easily said, guys, the wind is far too severe. Let's postpone.
That too, yeah.
However, the blame's not all on Canthaville. The two pilots could have also said, let's just follow protocol. By radioing in to HQ and saying, yes, get us 2 tugboats, please. With one on each side at the front, they would have had far more stability and control. And they wouldn't need to erratically fight about with the wind to stay in the middle of the lane. Second cause,
Yeah, that's
the
smart.
speed of the ship. Now, it was the red pilot who told the helmsman, accelerate the ship to 22 kilometers per hour. But when he did that, they were already driving at the speed limit for their weight class, 14 kilometers per hour. And telling the helmsman to go beyond that meant that they are technically breaking the rules. And while I agree that some rules are made to be broken, going this fast in a very large ship in a comparatively small canal
And heavy. That's the critical part.
causes a whole bunch of problems to do with fluid dynamics. Big problems. Huge.
5 fun physics phenomena.
Now, I don't know the physics, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. But what I will say is this. Speeding up causes something approximating oversteer. The ship
I also don't know them, but if I knew them, I would tell you.
becomes all slidey. I'm just going to turn a little bit to the left, but instead you go a lot to the left. I'll just turn right a little bit, but instead you turn to the right a lot. Remember how the cheerful navigator was like, come on guys, we have to get back to the center of the lane. Well, they can't, because every time they try to direct back to the center, the speed and the oversteer means they overshoot it. One more effect of going very fast.
I will sneeze. Wait for it.
Take a look at this animation side on.
What's the point of that? I don't know that means.
To tilt. At this speed, the front is raised 6 meters higher than usual, which means when they collide with the bank, combined with the high velocity, they really wedge themselves in. But we can't just blame everything on the physicists, because there's a third main cause: poor communication. English is the official language of pretty much every port. However, the pilots start arguing with each other in Arabic, which is not just unprofessional, but excludes all of the rest of the crew from what's being discussed. And all of these competing voices make for chaos on the bridge. But the blame is not all on the co-pilots either. The captain is always in charge. He has the ultimate authority. Decisions start and end with him. So the captain should have intervened and said something like,
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up, everybody. But he doesn't. He stands there quite passively throughout. By the time he does
like a better bitch.
step in, it's too late. Now that everything's been laid out, who would you say is at fault for the crash of the Evergiven? The helmsman? Blue pilot? The red pilot? Canthaville?
Well, it's they all play the part, but the biggest part is the captain because he's the ultimate authority, I think. So
I'll tell you. Society, that's who. You and me. And I think you should apologize.
Nah. Fuck you. That's not my fault.
Alrighty, so we have something 3.5 times the size of the Titanic, choking the world's largest freighting canal like a greedy seagull throating a glue stick. Good start. And they didn't get very far through the canal itself. About 5% of the progress bar. But if we scroll up for a second, we can see what landmarks they missed out on. The Great Bitter Lake, named so because the water there is very salty instead of fresh.
Yeah, because they connected the two bodies of salt water together through the canal. So, yeah.
Then up a 2-lane bit and over to Timsah Lake. Named so because Timsah is the Arabic word for crocodile, because there used to be crocodiles in there.
There are no crocodiles in the lake nowadays. during prehistoric times, it might have been the natural endpoint of the Red Sea. Okay.
Otherwise, it's pretty much zip right through to the Mediterranean. That would have been very nice for them. Now we go back a bit to Timsar Lake, and here you'll find the city of Ismailia. And at its port, see this building? This is the Suez Canal Authority. Inside, Captain El Said, head of navigational control, is just settling in for the day. As he sits down to his desk,
Captain, you're gonna want to see this. The video feed pulls up.
What? Line 1. We're stuck. We'd like to request a tugboat. Stuck? Stuck where? You know that single lane area pretty close to the entrance? There. Now, had this happened in one of the 2-lane sections, they could have kept the traffic flowing. But alas. What? So you're blocking all the traffic? Mr. El Said, we already promised we wouldn't get mad. Fine.
I gotta see how bad it is in person.
El Said snatches his keys off his desk and he races down to his car, rushing to the scene. He gets out and casts his eyes upon the ship.
My God.
Towering over him is a structure the width and breadth of the world's largest Walmart, except it is also 15 stories tall. The bow, raised 6 meters higher than normal, is jammed into one side, like an unwitting finger in a Chinese finger trap that somebody filled with Gorilla Glue in its prom tomorrow. And the ass of the ship, firmly squatting aground on the other side. And the middle of the ship, making bended metal groans as it's barely suspended by only a few meters of water. El Said lets the sand run through his fingers. At this point, another important person arrives on the scene. Admiral Rabi. He is the Suez Canal Authority chairman, the big boss of the whole canal. Here's the rough structure of the organization. He's all the way up here, right?
Oh, no.
So high up that he reports
that's
directly
just a common
to the
Arabic
Pharaoh
name,
of Egypt himself. Yep, that's one blocked canal. No, Mr. President, he didn't say blocked. Shut up. He said that canal rocked. He's giving it a 5-star review. Come on, follow me to the bridge. Now, El Said and Rabi board the ship, and it's a hell of a scene. The crew is racing around. Oh God, they're gonna check the nav data. They're gonna see the dick pic. Oh God. Canterville's standing back taking a panicked phone call with
Yeah, buddy, you fucked up real bad.
Walk into a ship, and the first one says, and the 2 pilots from before are still bickering. All right, you 2 are dismissed. Canterville. Oh God, this is the end of my career. This is gonna cost $1 billion. El Said puts his hand on Canterville's shoulder. Do not worry, my friend. We shall solve this. Come on, Captain. What's the status? Well, the ship isn't floating. Yeah. No, what I mean is the situation is worse than you think. It's the way we're pitched up on the shore. The weight distribution is all wrong. We're like a raised bridge, but we don't have any of the support underneath. The middle of the ship could bend under its own weight and tear. So it could sink? Yeah. That would shut down the whole canal for months. Are we taking on water? No, I've had the engineers check the hull. We can't see water making ingress anywhere. Yet. The best way to get free and the best way to...
So yeah, the ship doesn't sink, I think.
To prevent the ship from potentially sinking...
From what I heard.
...is to lighten the load. We need to get rid of at least, I don't know, like 20,000 tons. How quickly do you think your crew can offload containers? No. Look how high those boxes are stacked. To offload these containers is going to require specialist equipment. The kind you'd only find at a dedicated port. We're not going to be able to offload these containers out here in the middle of nowhere. All right, well, it's the easiest, most brute force solution you can think of. The ballast tanks. Yeah? Go on. We've got nearly 10,000 tons of ballast water on board. We can dump that right now and relieve some pressure. Excellent idea. I'll get started. No, you can't do that. Well, why not? Allow me to explain. You see, when a ship fills its ballast tanks, it's filling with more than just water. It's a big, dilute, salty soup of algae, plant material, and even sometimes small fish. Pick that up in Malaysia, and then just dump that at the next port, you're introducing these stowaway pest species into the environment. Some examples of these invasive species include the Northern Pacific Sea star.
Their larvae get into the ballast water rather than the whole starfish. But they into the ballast water rather than the whole starfish. Ah, okay, yeah. So it's the larvae that get in. Yeah. But then they grow and prey on native fish egg.
The European
preys on native shellfish, artificially introduced in the U.S. in the 1950s, and caused all sort of costly problems.
And green crab. That son of a bitch. And
attaches to other microorganisms commonly found in raw sewage.
Cholera.
The cholera. Yeah, this one definitely you don't want.
So you have to treat the water before you discharge it, usually
that's just
through
the
heat or
reference.
chemicals. And the key there is that it also...
Some ballast water management systems are on board the ship, while others are external at port. These external plants just hook into the ship ballast tanks.
It requires time and access to one of these treatment machines. And we're not at a port. It's going to take much longer than usual. But let me get onto the line with the guys at Ismailia. We probably have a portable water treatment machine somewhere. Al Said turns and looks out the window. Coming down the canal are 2 tugboats, the ones that they ordered earlier. Look, we might not even be that deeply wedged in. These 2 tugboats might be all we need. Yes, tugboats. This is the Mosaid 2 and the Mosaid 3.
Mm-hmm.
These 2 little...
By coincidence, this also happens to be the ship that was directly in front of the Evergiven in the convoy at the time.
Guys are able to pull around this...
Oh wait, it says more here. Costco Shipping Galaxy breaks away from Felix to... Oh, okay, no, that's just the
massive cargo ship, comparable in size to the Evergiven. On go the ties. Line secure, all fast. Engine ready. Ready to pull. Canterville looks nervously at El Said. Commence pull. Slow ahead. The polyethylene ropes whine as they're pulled taut from the water. The tugboats lightly draw against the ship, testing for resistance. All right, a little more. 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 Full power. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Not an inch of difference.
They're gonna have to dig it out.
Be on standby.
And I think that's what they do, actually. They get out.
This isn't going to work.
If I
With
recall
just
correctly.
2 tugboats, we do not have the pull for a ship this massive, this deeply grounded. It's also low tide. That's not helping. Wind's high tide. Early afternoon, in a couple of hours. All right, that buys us some time. How soon do you think you can get a dredger out here? Let me find out for you. Please hold. The dredgers can remove the sand below the waterline that's all built up around the ship. Hi again. They say it'll take a day, maybe 2. All right, tell them to hurry. A day or 2? I'd better update my boss. Let him know it's not gonna be a quick fix. I should call my wife as well. All right, don't go too far.
Definitely should call your wife. Tell her you're perhaps gonna need another job.
I need you for something in a minute. Hey, what about excavators? Oh yeah, how many we got? Right now? No, for my birthday. Yeah, now.
0.
1.
Yeah, you see, they're gonna dig it out.
1 guy. There's only 1 excavator on standby for the whole canal. Well, it's just post-COVID. Everyone's been excavating from home. Patch me through.
Abdullah, excavator.
It was just 1 guy, by the way. It's local contractor Abdullah. So he picks up the phone. Mushy mushy. There's been a big accident at the canal, Abdullah. There's sand and dirt everywhere. I need your help. Just send me the deets, Choom. Abdullah jumps in his truck and heads to the scene. And when he pulls up...
Oh my god.
Gott in Himmel. He sees the massive Evergiven wedged into the canal. Abdullah locks himself into his excavator and gets to work on the most important task he's ever done digged.
Yeah.
Back on the bridge. Yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully home soon. Okay. Yep, no, love you too. Okay, bye. Whew, the boss was not happy. Hey, before you said you needed me for something. I did. Who's this? Breathe into this tube.
Were you drunk, buddy?
Also, you have to do a drug test. After the crash, they tested Canthaville for drugs and alcohol. Both came up negative. There's also a procedure to make sure that captains aren't fatigued. They look at the rest schedule and they find, no, Canthaville took that nap. Remember? He's had plenty of rest time. So he passed the fatigue assessment. And while Canthaville was at the nurse's office, high tide came and went.
And all that work? Oh no.
And again. Tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It didn't work. All day trying, all evening, and into the early morning. But that stubborn ship was going nowhere.
Still stuck. Day 2. The Sphinx. So, actually, when they say that Napoleon used the Sphinx for target practice, that's not the case. That never happened. And by the way, by the time the Egyptian, the French expedition in Egypt, the Sphinx was actually covered in sand up to here. So, yeah, that's an interesting fact that you may not know. It was dug out by the French expedition, if I recall correctly.
Of course. The moon.
Yeah. The high tides is gonna...
There's quite a queue of ships by this point, and they're
fit
all
into it
their
somehow.
Patiently. Hey, move your ass! I got Frozens in the back. Go around! Go around!
Go around.
Quite what
Go around I fucking get the whole of Africa.
It's happening because the Suez Canal Authority has not made a formal statement. But their hand is about to be forced when an impatient sailor behind the Evergiven takes a photograph and publishes it online. And this starts a bit of a buzz on social media. It was at this very...
We don't live in the edge of cover-ups anymore. That's become impossible.
moment that the helmsman's most feared fear was most realized. Someone pulled up the navigational data. Within 24 hours, it was all over the news.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
So over at the Suez offices, Mr. Rebby, you have 300 voicemails. Telemarketers? Important clients and journalists. They're asking about whether the canal is blocked, aren't they? They're asking about whether the canal is blocked, yes. And the Suez Canal Authority could keep it a secret no longer. They held a press conference. Okay.
So one of the reasons I think it was so important to keep it a secret, I don't know for sure because I'm not an expert in that, but is it possible that they have to pay a toll to get through the Suez Canal? And that's a pretty big contributor to Egypt's economy. So if news were to get out that it's stuck, they would really feel the financial impact of it. So if I were to bet, I'd put my money there.
This is crazy. Let's say, hypothetically, They didn't give many details, but it was a very inspirational press conference. The news begins reporting on the story.
It's blocked. Cargo ship blocking the Suez Canal is a
huge container ship.
There's just the most incredible drama playing out in the Suez Canal.
A massive container ship longer than the Eiffel Tower.
It's one of the world's most important shipping lanes.
And breaking news from the Nana Star News Channel. I'm Nana.
I know.
Mega ship's big ass is stuck in the Suez Canal.
Right. The point is, this story exploded everywhere. There was a lot of sympathy to go around.
That's
I appeal to a
Dankula?
global trade.
And the internet, upon seeing it, went, these guys need some help. We would love to volunteer.
There's that picture of a naked woman. I need to help them.
They knew best about what to do to get this ship unstuck.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for the I reckon you could pretty much just do this and it'd work section. By far the most popular solution was simply blow it up. No ship, no problem. But why wouldn't this work? Well, first you're blowing up $1 billion worth of cargo. And
yeah, and the debris isn't going to magically evaporate also. It's still going to be there after you blow it up.
This thing is about 3 times the size of Mount Rushmore. So there's quite a lot of debris to sweep up, actually. And you still haven't solved the problem of moving the thing out of the fucking canal. Next idea. What if we attach 1,000 helicopters and simply fly the thing out? You could even take it all the way to its destination in the Netherlands. Well, the problem is this thing weighs about 300,000 tons. So even if you had a really powerful helicopter, you're going to need like 25,000 of them. And you can't put them all together in one area or they'll all crash. It ain't gonna work.
This many helicopters in close proximity would also cause chaotic and unpredictable airflow. This turbulent air would reduce their ability to generate lift, even if they could stay in the air. Their lifting capacity would be shot. It would be fun to watch, though. Yeah, I was about to say that also, so...
Hey, maybe pull up a bit.
Next. Alright, more seriously, why don't we take a whole bunch of old jet engines, weld them to the sides of the ship, turn them all on at once, and... whee, the day is saved. However, there is a risk of an explosion. And then you'd have a hole in the ship.
This would kind of work. You need a lot of jet engine, and to weld them all to parts of the ship that were structurally stable, enough to withstand the force. But by the time you did, all you could have 50 tugboats ready to go. But by the time you did that, you could have 50 tugboats ready to go, effectively doing the same job with more boats.
And then the
with more control,
sinks, and then you're really never moving it. Hear me out. Liquid nitrogen. A lot of liquid nitrogen right under the boat. The water freezes, expands, the ship lifts up. Bob's your uncle, you love it. Except now, the ship is just stuck in ice. And then it melts, and then you're back to the exact same position. Also, you need like $1 billion worth of nitrogen. There's no way to get that much material, let alone handle the scale of that material. Also, everyone's going to freeze to death on board.
Oh, sorry about that.
Let alone handle the scale of that material. Also, everyone's going to...
While the least practical, this solution would be, scientifically speaking, the most fun.
Freeze to death on board.
I don't know. I think the jet the jet engine one would have been way funner, way more fun.
And the ballast will expand in the tanks, and that'll destroy the ship. It's not going to work. All right. Last idea. Best idea. What if we just actively made things worse? Such as this petition to add a second boat to the canal.
Yeah. Also add some nice hotels and make it a tourist spot.
Jokes aside, one humble comment did stand out from the crowd.
Get a few people on this side, a few people on that side, push it, and I really think it would go.
Well, maybe. Because that's exactly what the recovery team intended to do. Ahoy! Ah, good to see you back from the nurse. I told them I didn't do any drugs, but they wouldn't take my word for it. I would have believed you. Hey, just give me the walkie-talkie. All right, full ahead with the excavators. 3 more excavators join Abdullah, and they are all busily digging out the front and rear of the ship.
So I wonder what contract Abdullah got. He must have made the he must have made a pretty penny.
It's still
I
going too
hope.
slow. What else we got? More rescue stuff. So here comes Rabbi pulling up to the scene. Good news, fellas. And he's standing atop a very powerful bit of kit. A big, beautiful dredger. To be specific, a cutter suction dredge. Essentially, you've got a big rotating cutting tool that loosens up all the soil, while a big suction pipe sends it yonder. All right, do the dredgy. Full speed. What else we got? We got more tugboats incoming. More and more
Uber
tugboats
Eats,
join the fray. A total
in the
of
ship.
8, arranged around the ship like this. Notably, the Baraka 1 and the Izzat Adel. These are 2 of the most powerful tugboats in the Middle East, and that includes the non-deserty parts. Full ahead with those. They keep trying. A cacophony of engines playing the highest stakes game of tug-of-war ever attempted. Tens of millions of dollars being lost every hour until it was won. And their opponent? Unbothered, moisturized, taking up the whole lane. Unbudgeable. All right, we're calling it for now. Oh, El Said, we've thrown everything we can at the ship, and it won't concede an inch. It's hopeless, hopeless. The cynicism of youth. I've worked for many years on the Suez. There's magic in the water, Canterville. Magic. We will succeed. Your words are empty, El Said. Optimism has blinded you, El Said. We cannot defeat the canal. It is simply too powerful. If I were the guys at Case and Kaisha, I'd just forget about the Evergiven and buy a new ship. Well, we can't afford a new ship. The owners of the Evergiven, Shoei Kaisen Kaisha Limited, are getting very worried. I need that ship back, and I can't just leave it to the Suez Canal Authority to do it.
There's only one team daring and foolhardy enough to take on a job like this.
Kaisen calls up an elite salvaging company from the Netherlands.
Smit Salvage. We need your help. I got your number from you know who.
Smit is the industry's best. They have response centers all over the globe.
So they send someone from
24/7
Athens.
ready to respond to marine emergencies. And funnily enough, they're the same team that helped with the rescue of the Costa Concordia back in 2012. Suit up, boys. They put the ocean in Ocean's 11, the tide in Tide Pod. And sometimes they pee in the water. Why not? The fish do it.
We're en route to the canal. ETA in the next 24 hours.
Oops, sorry about that. Let's just see what he said. Oops. Oops.
Now, ETA
in the water. Why not? The fish do it.
We're en route to the canal.
Sorry about that. Ah, shit. Just gonna make it bigger. I hate the Mozilla YouTube experience. Sorry about that. Can't read it.
ETA in the next 24 hours.
There's the YouTube bar right on the text.
Next time on Boat in Canal. The prophecy. It's coming true. Kiss me, you fool. I'm beginning to think you don't want to get the boat free. Well, is it the Yanny wire or the Laurel wire?
Laurel.
I couldn't hear you. You're breaking up. Ha ha ha. There's only one way this was ever gonna go.
Uh-oh. Betrayal. Aw.
It's now day 3. There's more digging, more tugging, but the ship is still exactly where they left it. And the slow pace of progress is starting to cause problems for international trade. Each delayed ship represents thousands of tons of undelivered stock for store shelves. And that queue is getting longer and longer. On board, an estimated $9.6 billion worth of goods is sitting idle. The milk! It will spoil! And the big question is, how long until this thing is fixed?
I don't think they go so far to get milk in Europe. I think they produce it locally.
In question, the Suez Canal Authority holds another press conference and declares, guys, another day, maybe two, might even be this afternoon. But the media and industry experts disagree.
The truth of the matter is that they're not making much ground. I mean, is this proving to be more difficult than originally expected?
Could be closed for weeks.
It could take weeks.
Could be stuck for weeks.
Weeks. That's how long it could take to free the container ship currently blocking the Suez Canal.
So that means all of these ship operators here, waiting in the queue, have a very difficult choice to make. So basically, I've just got two options. One, I can wait around hoping the ship gets unstuck, which nobody knows how long that's going to be. Or option two, we go all the way around Africa. And I really don't want to do that, and it's not just a geographic thing. Freighters don't want to go around Africa because it will cost them far more in terms of fuel. It adds 10 extra days to the route.
Oh, that's not bad, I think. I thought it would have been longer. Well, 10 days is still a lot, considering we have way speedier ships now, but yeah, I'm surprised. Only 10 days.
Pirates.
Pirates, assassins, and gay pirate assassins.
Now, there be two main pirate hangouts. The Somali
pirates, exactly, I was saying that.
But the more prolific group is actually in the Gulf of Guinea. Named so because it holds the Guinness World Record for most pirates.
Yeah, I didn't know about that, so I'm quite intrigued.
In fact, in 2020, 96% of all maritime kidnappings happened in the Gulf of Guinea. That doesn't sound very good to me, Mr. Kaisha.
And I just want you to know that you've made an enemy. And when I... Is your boat running? 'Cause you better fucking move it. You can't park there. All right, hear me out. I'm thinking a bunch of helicopters, right? And we...
There are a lot of people now who are angry with the owners of the Evergiven. There's only one thing I can do. Bing, 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 bong. Breaking news. Pause for a second.
Shoei Kaisen Kaisha is big sorry.
The owners of the Evergiven feel such enormous pressure that they go live on television to make a public apology.
Oh, very Japanese of them.
We are determined to keep on working hard to resolve the situation as soon as possible. Please do not be mad. In a few years, we'll all have a big laugh about it.
Yours sincerely, Mr. Kaisha. Oh God, that's the boss of my boss's boss. I'm in so much trouble. Can't do anything about it. All we can do is keep trying to free the ship. So they keep going. And going. Into the night. And on that night, Canterville and El Said had a heart-to-heart. The mood was very somber. Still feeling optimistic, El Said? Of course. Well, it's day 3. How much progress have you seen so far?
They're gonna blow us up, aren't they? It's possible. They're gonna freeze us, aren't they? That seems less likely. They might just attach a whole bunch of jet engines and we're gonna get fucked up.
That one got debunked. Sorry,
No.
Take it out.
It got debunked, but I'm rebunking it right now. Right now. It's possible.
Guys,
I believe.
The navigator, the helmsman, Gene, and the other ones we never animated. But I'm thinking maybe I should just get on a lifeboat right now and never look back.
I could go live on an island somewhere, far, far away from here. Run away? Look at this. Timu neck massager for Sally. I bet she's checking her mailbox every morning. Bulk $6 fingerless gloves for Mr.
Sorry
Po
about that.
Box. You want to disappoint him? No. Little Jimmy won't be getting his 20-pack of kitchen tongs this Christmas. And you think that doesn't kill me inside?
No, little Jimmy, no.
But we've exhausted every option. There's nothing on Earth that could free this ship. Well, that's where you're right. Look up there, Lil Canthy. El Said points up into the night sky. Los Lunos. Yes, the moon, the son of the night. To the ancient Egyptians, it was a sign of hope. And in a few more nights' time, a prophecy will be fulfilled.
Yeah.
The supermoon. I have to show you a kind of boring diagram. I'm so sorry. You see, the moon doesn't just orbit the Earth in a perfectly equidistant circle. It is, in fact,
Elliptical.
an ellipse.
Yeah.
That means there is a point when the moon is the furthest from the Earth, and we call that the apogee. And there's also a point where it's closest to the Earth. That's the perigee. You know when you look into the night sky and the moon seems bigger or smaller than usual? Different distances, innit? Point is, the moon gravities all over the water. And the closer it is, the more it's going to pull.
So it's not just water, it's everything, but water is the most susceptible to it.
Now, there's another effect as well. If you believe the mainstream media, the Earth is going around the sun like this. And once in a while, it will also align with the sun being on the exact opposite side. Bam! At this point, when everything lines up like so, both the sun and the moon are at max strength pulling on the sea. And they call that the supermoon. And the tidal effects of both combine for an even greater pull. High tide can be even higher than usual, sometimes by up to 1.5 feet. Now, these sorts of moons only happen 3 or 4 times a year. But in 4 days, Big K, we're going to get one.
Oh my god.
Previously on Boat in Canal. Don't let go! Ha ha ha, my plans have all fallen into place. I thought I knew what being a captain meant. What do you mean cut the black and blue wire? There's only white and gold. We've got one chance left. The moon.
Nice Halo
This is
Reach
just like
reference.
that Costa Concordia video he did, but way less funny. Over at the Evergiven, things are status quo. But online, there's a bit of a new development. A screenshot of a news article appears. Cargo ship crashes into Suez Canal. Captain involved in incident. But there's a twist. Uh-oh. Is that a woman? A woman? Egypt's first female sea captain, Marwa El-Sahar, was being named in this headline as responsible for crashing the Evergiven. And the screenshot of this news headline spread all across social media. For Marwa to have screwed up this badly is impressive.
Fake news.
Especially considering she's never worked on the Evergiven and is currently hundreds of miles away in Alexandria. But someone online went, first female captain? Grody? Suez blockage? She must have did it. Marwa found out about the accusations through a friend and quickly hopped online. I gotta clear my name. Guys, it isn't me! But the online bad guys must have hacked her account, because everything she wrote just came out in squiggles.
Of translation. The news that I commanded the ship that blocked the Suez Canal is not true. I was subjected to a systematic smear campaign. I am currently working on a ship called Aida.
So Marwa tried to hack back. This code, it's nothing I've ever seen before. They're countering my hack. I'm gonna reroute the hosting. Not if I can help it. They ran through the firewall.
Said the hacking scene is the only true thing that happened. I think.
Use IP4. It's better. Now, while we can all agree that a lady captain is very gross and icky, and while we all agree that she should be doing a lady job, like adding rosemary oil to the ballast water, or knitting hand warmers for the steering wheel, it was not fair that she was being falsely accused. And the situation was escalating as the online bad guys started making fake accounts pretending to be her. What was Marwa, etc. to do against such a coordinated campaign? Well, luckily, a surprise hero to the story.
Zip.
The mainstream media showed up and did a thing.
Don't worry.
Bringing her onto the telly and clearing everything.
I saw the Death
Marwa
Stranding
even
2
found
stuff,
some
but
positives in the situation.
I didn't have the time to read it. Sorry.
I was really upset at the beginning, but later on I found like the support from all people around me, and that made me feel like more grateful for what happened.
A lot of the social media posts got taken down. And in the end, it all turned out okay. At least for her. Back to the Evergiven.
Sorry about that.
The Evergiven has been grounded for 4 long Egyptian days. So tug, tug, tug.
Why an Egyptian day is the same as day anywhere else, buddy.
Everyone is overdue for a break. All right, guys, grab a Red Bull and a little snacky. We'll pick up again soon. But as the engines wind down,
we're back. Sorry about that.
The crew can hear something approaching. Who the hell is that? It's Smith Selvage. The Smith team boldly actions onto the scene, looking at the ship very inspectively.
Yeah,
they report
definitely
their
stuck.
findings to the rescue team. All right, I ain't no boat expert, but if you want a chance of moving this ship, you're going to need to make it a lot lighter, by tens of thousands of tons at least. Is it going to bend and tear? And sink? No, it doesn't look like it's going to do that. But it also doesn't look like it's going anywhere with all of this weight on the back. Okay, we trust you. What's your plan to make the ship lighter? I know a guy. He's got a crane. I'll get it down here. We'll offload all the containers. It'll be brilliant. You're gonna love it. The container thing again? Yeah, how long is that gonna take? Well, to get them down here and to get all the equipment assembled, we're gonna need at least a few weeks. Weeks? Yeah, and to get all the containers off the ship, that might take several months.
Months? No, Mr. President, he didn't say months. He said, monks. Those Shaolin guys, they're very strong. Everything's going according to plan.
They've got Coptic monks in Egypt, so maybe call those.
A furious rabbi marches in.
Do you have any idea how much these last few days have cost Egypt already? We've had to sell parts of the Sphinx. Look, the nose is gone. It's looking all messed up. We turned the whole country into an e-commerce site. It used to just be called Gypt. Now it's online. Egypt. Remember Tutankhamun? Now it's Tutankhamun. Get it? It's a pun. Get it?
Let's move on, says the Smith guy standing in for the audience. Look, this is by far the best option. Yeah, it's slow and laborious, but it's a guaranteed fix. Or you can carry on doing what you're doing now. You're on what, day 4? How's progress so far? Al-Said wouldn't hear it.
We will continue with the dredging and the tugging. The supermoon will be here soon, and that will save us. You are foolish, Al-Said. The legend of the supermoon is just a legend.
All right, we're on the same team here. If you insist on keeping the cargo aboard and just tugging, we've got resources to help.
Smith calls in 2 additional tugboats.
And not just big ones. Pretty much the biggest ones you can get. So Smith and the recovery team
have figured out a sort of Plan A and Plan B. Plan A is to pull the Evergiven free by the supermoon, which is only 2 days away. Now, if that doesn't work, they'll have to go to Plan B, which is to offload by crane most of these containers, and that will take months. Watching on impatiently, tapping their feet and looking at their watches very aggressively, is now a queue of 400 vessels waiting to use the canal. Fresh fruit, thousands of tons, losing its freshness.
Oh, look at that ram.
Medicine.
Yeah, that's what's its name? Mouthwashing.
Losing its potency.
Mouthwashing.
After this, there is no turning back.
And that's the Matrix.
You take the blue pill.
There's no pill.
You take the red.
There's no pill either.
Not to mention livestock.
More than a dozen ships have live animals on board.
Mostly sheep and cattle, lightly sizzling under an Egyptian sun.
My God.
The Egyptian government has had to dispatch vets to board
It
these
must smell
ships
so
to
fucking
tend to
badly
the animals'
now.
welfare. A few days ago, when I was a younger man, freight from Asia only cost $8,000 a container. Now it's $12,000. And the impact is being felt by a lot of larger companies. Renault, for example, ran out of some critical components and had to halt assembly at a couple of its plants. Adidas, Nike, IKEA all saw shortages.
Some of our clients are out of their top-selling SKUs already.
And as tankers queue, oil prices are rising.
Let my people go! Through the little waterway, please. And meanwhile, all across the day, the tugs are trying again and again. Move a little more sand, wait for the next high tide, try again. And as this marches on with the same futility as day one, banking on the supermoon looks like a costlier and costlier gamble. All right, enough of this. Said about 100 ships opting instead to go the long route around Africa, accepting the longer traffic time and piratey risk.
Right. That reminds me of sorry about that. It reminded me of a video clip. It's the video clip that for the band that played at the end of Mass Effect 1. I can't remember the name. Sorry about that. But, each time I see a crab on the beach, I get reminded of that video.
The supermoon. It's tonight. There's a renewed energy as people scuttle around the area, doing everything they can to prep the ship for the big event. The excavator crew, over the course of the week, has expanded to a team of 11, working double, sometimes triple shifts with only 3 hours a day for sleep.
3 hours of sleep a day? Oh my God, that... Holy shit.
Dredgers, they
That's
have
so
moved
fucking bad.
30,000 cubic meters of sand and soil. For comparison, this is 1 cubic meter, and this is 30,000 cubic meters. And here is what it looks like next to the Evergiven. That's a lot of sand. Subway sandwich for scale. And it's borne some results.
I don't think the Subway sandwich is that big.
It managed to free the rudder from the left bank. And that's a big deal, because this rudder was acting as a bit of an anchor in the sand. Now free, the stern bobs around with the motion of the water. Great stuff. Meanwhile, the crew is doing everything it can to lighten the weight of the ship. That includes making a second plea for the ballast water to be ejected. Oh please, the Smith guy's already tinkled in there. We just can't do it. It would destroy the ecosystem of Egypt. Please, 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 please. All right. Biodiversity. Let 1,000 algae bloom. Nice work. That'll make the ship 9,000 tons lighter, Kenthy. The water's so bright I can barely see it coming out of the ship. Here, take these. No. I don't deserve them.
Sunglasses are for people who redeem themselves. That's not me.
No.
Hold on to them, just in case.
Into the evening, the pace keeps up. We see Abdullah excavating away. But really, he's thinking about the moon. Rabbi, he's busy taking video calls. But he finds himself distracted with thoughts of the moon. Even Mr. Kaisha. Is there anything in this world that doesn't remind me of her?
More breaking news from the Suez Canal problem. Evergiven is stuck in the Suez Canal still. It's been almost a week. A tugboat should be able to move Evergiven's big ass. This is Nana Star, Nana Star's news channel.
Goodbye.
The full moon shone brightly that night, kissing the nape of the canal's neck with its gravity lips. Full tongue. The canal liked it.
And spoiling the romance of the moment is a big fleet of tugboats, watching on voyeuristically. They are 17 in total, with just a bit over 1,600 tons of bollard pull. And here's how they're arranged around the Evergiven. Of the four most powerful tugs, 2 go at the front and 2 go at the back. They'll be pulling. Another 6 tugs are put on the flanks. 2 over here, 4 over here. They'll be pushing. The remaining tugs are fueled and ready on the sidelines, waiting for their chance to sub in. Positioned like this, when the word is given, all these ships are going to try and turn the Evergiven anti-clockwise. Looks great, guys! Do you think that this is gonna...
I believe in the supermoon.
This had better work. The guy with the ruler down by the shoreline yells out, "The tide has hit its peak!" Al Sayed commands over the radio. Start main engines. Tension on. Full ahead. The tugs start moving. They carve through the water with ease. The immense power from the tugs meet the resistance of the Evergiven.
It was at this point that the narrator said something really poetic. Stuff about the night. About how the ships were like dancers on the water.
For juxtaposition, we cut away to that crab again.
Which everybody hated. It's like a metaphor if you think about it.
Why? What the fuck do you hate the crab? He's done nothing wrong to you all. Stop hating on him.
Diesel fumes fill the air as the tugs keep increasing their power. The water violently foams behind the tugs. Everyone is staring at the back of that ship.
Come on. Move. This goes on for minutes. More minutes. Even more minutes.
An hour. 2. 4 hours. By 4:30 a.m., the moon's power is starting to wane and there is very little progress.
Don't give up. The tide only goes down so that we can rise once again.
Your moon gambit has cost Egypt dearly, Al Sayed. Guards, prepare the sarcophagus with the beetles, like in the... What the hell is that? Under the water, all of this tugging has loosened the sand, the soil, the rock.
Could it be?
The sound of metal tensing and flexing. The ship is beginning to move. It is coming free from the bank.
The supermoon gives one last howl.
It worked. They pulled the ship from the bank. At the back, at least. Now, the bow is still wedged in there pretty good, but this is progress. We're halfway to freedom. Keep going. So they did, all morning. "7:30 a.m. The sun is rising. The tugs have been pulling all night. But the most difficult task Freeing the bow of the ship remains beyond them. Well, I guess even the moon has its limits.
I don't want to hear it, El Said. It wasn't enough. That bow is still stuck.
No, Mr. President. They're not saying that the bow is still stuck. They're saying, take a bow. And then something else that rhymes with stuck. I gotta go.
They were loading up the missiles for Plan B, as the guys on social media suggested. I lied about the crane thing. This was always the plan, says the Smith guys. You know what, Canterville? I agree. They should just blow us up.
What?
My career is over now, too. You're the guy who blocked the canal, and I'm the guy who couldn't get it cleared. We've brought instability to the Middle East. But enough, Canterville. I raised your hopes with moon-based promises. But look at the tide. It's low. Low tide. And yet, I am lower still.
Oh.
Canterville looks pensively out the window. And it was at that moment that he had his character arc. He realized that he was the captain, and the captain is always in charge. Shut up, El Said. We shall continue, regardless of the tide. Is that not the Egyptian way? Don't you remember the story, El Said? That every young Egyptian kid is told about the human pyramid? No. Where there's one guy at the bottom who gives up and we all fall down? Heck, it ain't a triangle if you don't try. We need to be strong. Together.
Yes, together.
Like a pyramid. It's what Giza would have wanted. You're right, damn it. Thank you, Canterville. That's the most inspirational speech I've ever heard in my life. I'll never lose my faith again. And even though you're kind of the worst captain I've ever seen, you're still the best friend.
Yeah, I knew.
So they pressed on all morning, enthusiastically and vigorously tugging away, beating off the fatigue, but to no progress. Okay, everyone, take a break. Copy. We'll have lunch and pick up again in a couple of hours. Then suddenly, one of the Smith guys comes busting into the room. I've got an idea. Everybody turns and looks at the Smith guy. All right, well, sorry about the boring diagram, but take a look at this. Remember how we emptied the ballast tanks before? Yeah, of course. Well, now that the ship is half floating, what if we refilled the ones at the back on this part of the diagram?
Oh, that's
where the
smart.
Ship is almost
so
floating.
the ship does.
That way, it will sink lower here and
Ah,
allow the
yeah,
bow
yeah.
to sit up even higher
That's
on the
smart.
back.
Smart.
Canterville gives El Said a knowing nod. I got this. I know a guy who owes me a favor. Please, 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 please. A few hours later, the ballast tanks were filled. And it worked. The bow lifted ever so slightly. It's working, it's working. And it gets better. It's now 2 p.m., and that means high tide. Guys, I've got another technical issue. All right, what is it? It's easier if I show you with a drone. Hold on, let me try again. All right, you can see the ship is lodged at the front. The guys are pulling, but it ain't budging. However, a lot of force is building up here. And what if it were to break free? The sudden release could propel the ship straight across the water with a hell of a lot of momentum.
Oh, rip all
It could
those ships.
span the entire canal and land on the opposite bank, only to run aground again. Worse still, it could pin these small tugs in its wake. Dangerous. To solve this problem, they did a bit of a safety briefing, and they got some rope. 4 ropes, actually, tying the bow of the ship to somewhere on the land. The lines look great, guys. With the contingency in place, the tugs start up again. And about an hour later, at 3:05 p.m., movement
Finally.
The bow began to shift. Okay, that's definitely moving. This is it. It's working. The ship made a big noise as it accelerated from the bank. And at first, excitement and relief. The bow was coming free. But uh-oh. Remember that concern about the overswing? Well, it's happening. Okay, the only source we found for this part of the story was Bloomberg, but they said that it happened and we wanted to build it. So this recreation is how we imagine it went. The 4 support ropes take strain. Then, snap. One of them breaks.
Uh-oh.
Do you think it's going to hold? I think it's going to hold. Move those tugs out of the way. Snap. Another rope breaks. Oof.
Captain El Sayed.
It's going to hold. Get your tug out of the way, but it's going to hold. Snap. A third rope breaks. Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Oof. A single strand
Getting sweaty for
is
them.
the only thing holding this ship from swinging all the way to the other bank and being stuck.
Forever. Without even realizing, Canterville grabs El Sayed's hand and squeezes it tight.
It's gonna hold.
You're a madman, Canterville.
Mad passionate about this canal, and I ain't afraid of nothing. He said very cold-backedly. The engines shut off. All that could be heard is the squeak of tightening rope and the scream of torsioning metal.
Sacre bleu,
said Abdullah, but it is slowing down. It comes to a halt. The final rope held.
They really did it.
And the Evergiven rested easy in the middle of the canal. Al Sayed turns to Canterville. Power up the engines. Let's get your ship moving again. I'm on it, says Canterville. All of the tugboats start honking their horns in celebration. Cheers can be heard from the main dredger, the Mashour. In fact, they filmed this celebratory video.
Yay! Yay!
You heard them right, Mr.
Yay!
President. We did it. We did it. It's free. I told you. All in a day's work.
The president takes his finger off the nuke button. Pack it up, boys.
I can't believe it. All that digging really must have made a difference.
Oh. Good.
Oh, F that crap. I thought he would get it with us at the end.
Everybody hated that crab.
No, I loved him.
Gene,
I loved
we did
him.
it.
I loved that crab.
Gene? Where are you? Captain, who are you talking to? Gene! Captain, there's no Gene on board. Wait a minute.
No.
Oh
it's
my
impossible.
God. The spirit of the ship.
I'll always remember you, Canterville.
And so the canal was clear once again, and chop chop. You still got work to do. By 8 p.m., the workday had not finished for the Suez Canal Authority. There's still a backlog of 400 ships waiting to go through the canal. So Rabbi stands in front of microphones and says, "The canal will be operating around the clock until the queue is cleared." And within a few days, it returned to normal. It was a big accomplishment.
But I think the ship, the Evergiven, runs aground again, if I'm not mistaken.
Industry experts thought it would take several months to free the Evergiven, but the crisis was resolved within a mere week. Prepare the sarcophagus for the doubters. Even Egypt's president came out and said, "Good job, everybody. You know what? Pizza lunch." And the Suez Canal Authority
Pizza
held
day.
a ceremony in honor of the workers who helped
Pizza day.
free the ship. And they also made this monument. which you can see on Google Maps.
Oh, nice. Free. Asterix. Yeah. He's gonna run.
But the story
run the
doesn't
ground
end here. A quick note on the helmsman's penis. Now you, me, and everyone in the press saw that VDR data.
Fragwürdigen Penismanöver genutzt.
But despite how realistic and to scale it was not deliberate. Yes, sheer coincidence. If you watch the VDR data, he really is just dodging the ships, and that's the shape that the path took. So he didn't get in any trouble. The end.
Nah, I don't believe that. I think he knew what he was doing. He just couldn't prove that he knew. But no, I don't buy that for a second.
Oh, all right. I suppose one more smaller detail. Now that the Evergiven is free, what's going to happen to it? And what's going to happen to the crew? Well, the Evergiven was tugged over to Great Bitter Lake, where they determined that the ship was seaworthy and not in any urgent need of repair. But it's also going to be impounded. Oh no. Hey, there's like police boats outside. Why? What did you do? This ship and its crew is now subject to the indefinite detention by the authority of the Egyptian government. Until you pay us, the Evergiven may not leave, says the Suez Canal Authority.
Betrayal.
Yes, we will be holding on to the Evergiven. It's our view that there was no wrongdoing on the part of the Suez Canal Authority or its two pilots, and it was all the crew of the Evergiven, so their ship will be held until the parent company agrees to rightfully pay us for all of the costs we incurred. Ruh-roh. Now,
what fucking snakes. Jesus Christ.
Here's where things get very complicated, and there is a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo. But the crux is this. The Suez Canal Authority says, "Dear Evergiven owners, you owe us $900 million. And Shoei Kisen Kaisha says, no way. How many yen is that? No way. So by April 13th, some of the crew is allowed to leave, but a lot of them have to stay. And there's a certain nervousness in the air. Large legal battles can go on for a while, and there was already a bad example of this just a few dozen kilometers away. The MV Aman.
Do not ask about that ship, helmsman.
The MV Aman is a much smaller vessel, and it has been abandoned for years, detained by the Egyptian government in 2017 for expired safety equipment. Now, they were told to replace the equipment and pay a fine. However, there was no one to replace the safety equipment or to pay the fine because the shipping company went broke.
$900 dues.
So they just abandoned the vessel. There was no way for the legal situation to advance. And that meant that there was no way for the ship to be released. Most of the crew had to stay on the ship, and they would keep them there for more than a little while. 13 months before a judge finally decided, all right, look, just leave the keys with one guy. We'll call him the custodian, and everybody else can go home. Now, that custodian was a Syrian man named Muhammad Aisha. Look, he's holding the keys. He's holding the keys. You have to stay on the ship now. Everybody else got to leave, but he had to stay. On top of the 13 months, he'd already been...
Oh my god, the captain. Why the fuck didn't he do it? What a snake he is too. My god.
Yeah. He spent the next...
It's fucking... Why the fuck are you having the grunt do your... It's your fucking responsibility. Oh my god, I'm getting mad.
3 years aboard the ship. Quickly, the ship ran out of fuel, which meant it ran out of power, which meant it ran out of running water. No refrigeration either. Food ran out. Every few days, Mr. Aisha would be allowed to swim onto the shore to get food, water, charge his phone, but he was only permitted for about 2 hours until they would tell him to scoot.
Nah, my god.
Would this be the same fate for the Evergiven crew? They did not know. But we do, so let me tell you. A few more weeks passed, and the negotiations continued. You guys had those two bickering pilots. Yeah, but the captain's always in charge. Sorry, who didn't arrange for tugboats while we were going through the canal? Oh, that was you guys. I'm gonna put 20,000 containers on one of the largest ships in the world and go double the speed limit, then complain about tugboats. But eventually, they all got together in a big room, and they went, I'm sorry about all those things I said and those emails I sent. I didn't mean it. I was tough on you as well. They embraced.
And
they
they
made
paid.
amends. They made love. And they agreed, all right, you can keep using the canal, but sometimes we get to go fishing on the boat. That's fair. That's tough, but that's fair. They shook on it. It was an Egyptian handshake. They do the thing with the elbow. There was a mummy. This story sucks. By September, the crew was allowed to return home. They only got MV Amand a little bit. And that guy on the MV Amand, he got to go home too. Why not? Get out of here, you scamp. The Evergiven made its delivery to Rotterdam. They did it! All the cargo is here. Although, it wouldn't hurt to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Canterville continued his career in shipping. It wasn't the end. Maybe just one more for the road? It's a great time to be a cargo ship captain. I can tell you that much. Al Said returned the Lunexicon back to the Sphinx.
Yeah.
Thank you, old friend. And the Evergiven had some minor repairs done to the bow over in Qingdao Port in China. And then she was ready to set sail again. The Evergiven was released back into the wild. It sailed into the sunset. Ever since then, global trade has improved. Prices have gone down.
No, they haven't. They've only gone up since then.
Food returned to the supermarkets. Mothers clutched their babes. A litter of puppies. And peace was finally restored to the Middle East. Forever.
Couldn't fix the lips either.
The end.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable, I tell you that.
Thanks again to Salee, the easy way to get data on your phone when you're overseas. And 15% off? Now that's a good deal.
So, yeah. That was my reaction to Ever Given, Ever Taken Away. So, I didn't know the exact method they used to get the ship out. So now I know. But I'm sure that the Evergiven ran aground once again. So I'm curious, did I misremember something, or did he just not mention that, or I don't know. If you know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments below. And if you like the video, like and subscribe. It's really gonna help me out. Thanks a bunch, and see you next time.